8th, 8th, 5th, 2nd, 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 and now is it finally the season Arsenal become first? Mikel Arteta's Arsenal is one of the most interesting case studies of progress and what is the real definition of success. At the end of last season, there was an interesting debate emerging as to which team had the better season, Arsenal or Spurs. This emerged from the fact that Arsenal finished second last season but didn't win a single trophy. However, Spurs, despite finishing 17th, yes, 17th, won the Europa League, a trophy that Arsenal has never won in its history despite being in the competition several times. While in my opinion it's an unfair comparison and something mostly said for laughs, there is truth to the fact that in the next 30 years, Spurs' win in the Europa League is most likely to be remembered more fondly than that consistency of Arsenal in the league, unless Arsenal go on to win something major, like a European competition or the league. And that's the most interesting thing about this comparison between the two North London clubs, because between 2015 and 2019, Spurs were very similar to the current Arsenal side in terms of potential for trophies, but they squandered it. Regardless of how many matches they won dominantly, it all doesn't matter because they have nothing to show for it. And for Mikel Arteta, I think we have reached a point where Arsenal once again finishing second and not winning anything isn't enough. It's failure, and it is very rich to consider that a failure, but that's the demon Arsenal have created for themselves. Their competitiveness is at an all-time high, and if we look at the current season's numbers, it seems very likely Arsenal has every piece to win an extremely prestigious trophy. So, how likely are they to win the Premier League this season? Well, almost everything about Arsenal's recent success stems from their defensive prowess. Now, to say they are slouches in attack isn't fair, but their defensive solidity is probably the best in the world, and the consistency of keeping up with the defensive masterclass is key to them winning the league. This is majorly because Arsenal are not very fluid in attack. They are excellent in set pieces, but that source of goals, while very good, is not sustainable for every match, and neither would Arsenal want that to be the case. At best, Arsenal's attack is above average, with the one truly world-class attacker being Saka, given Gyökeres is still unproven in the Premier League as of yet. And with an above-average attack and a defense which is easily the best in the world, you can win the Premier League. But now there are some interesting factors to note. In my opinion, Arsenal's toughest opponents have not yet played them, which is a stupid thing to say since they have played both Liverpool and Man City, the title rivals. Two matches where, by the way, they didn't fare very well. But I believe Arsenal's toughest opponents are Chelsea and Spurs, the London rivals. Some people might think I have lost it, but it makes sense. Chelsea have the best midfield in the Premier League and have saucy attackers and creativity which will challenge their incredible defense. And it will also act as a litmus test for how average or good their attack really is, because Chelsea's defense is absolutely horrible and the worst out of the big 6 or 7 sides. Secondly, Spurs is a big deciding factor given the occasion of the match, the derby and the fiesta nature of it. And secondly, because in my opinion, Spurs have the second best defense in the league, which means that Arsenal's attack will once again be tested to its fullest. See, Arsenal's attack is not horrible. That's not what I'm trying to say. Also, it's not a recruitment problem because they bought the right profile of players. But it is yet to be seen if Gyökeres and Eze can gel properly with the team. It is just too early to say as of yet. Now, in terms of Arsenal's major opponents for the title, Liverpool and Man City, there is a lot to be said about them in terms of their claims to the throne itself. Liverpool are the defending champs, but they have had a massive overhaul, and honestly, I don't see them winning the title this year, as I said in a previous video. Man City, on the other hand, on paper, can look like quite an average team, but they do have a once in a generation talent who could very well be the greatest footballer of his era, Erling Haaland. The man is a beast and can score from anywhere, and he's above Arsenal's attack all by himself. But the rest of the team is quite mid, barring Doku, Savinho, and Foden, all attackers, and an unproven midfield, and the defense is not great. But it does seem like Haaland has the energy to power them along the season. This honestly serves up to be a very interesting title race, with one team which is attack heavy and one which is defense heavy. And also, while I don't think they'll retain the title, it would be foolish to absolutely discount Liverpool given the insane quality they have. And if the team starts gelling by December, they can also go on a crazy run. Also, I think as the season goes on, Arsenal might be in a position wherein they need to prioritize a competition, the Champions League or the Premier League. For example, if they reach the semis of the UCL and are still in a title challenge with both City and Liverpool 1 point over or under them, they would be in a horrible position because injuries and the nature of football these past few years have made sure that squad depth is a fallacy, and they are probably going to have a few good players out as a given. And that's down to luck. And I suppose luck is something Mikel Arteta's side would desperately want because they're still riddled with injuries. Havertz, Odegaard, it's too much, and maybe they do need a break. All in all, though, I know it's incredibly early, but I think one of either two things are very likely to happen this season. A. Arsenal win the league comfortably, with both Liverpool or Man City not being as balanced as them. Or B. They fall off the Prem by March and reach the Champions League final. And both seem like very enticing propositions for Arsenal fans, and I suppose they would take that. Now, I won't decide what is going to happen in the Champions League final, but I do believe they will most likely reach there. And those are the two scenarios that I think will happen this year. Now, the final thing I want to talk about is Arteta's mentality. I do believe Mikel Arteta wants to win extremely badly, but I think there's a chaotic nature to him, which goes into delusion. I understand wanting to defend your team, acknowledge they are the best in front of the media, but even in victories, a coach should be ruthless enough to criticize his own team, his own players, not out in the media, but in the dressing room at least. But it does feel that Arteta doesn't criticize and call out his players in the dressing room as well. I could be wrong, but I felt that PSG match last season was very telling, wherein Arsenal didn't play very well, but Arteta went on a media tour to tell the world that they were the better team easily and should have won. That could be a momentarily head loss, but if that's the mentality Arteta is carrying this season as well, it could be a concern. All in all, though, Arsenal are brilliant. They built one of the most complete and balanced sides in the whole world right now. Defensively elite, tactically organized, and hungry for more. Whether this finally becomes the season Arsenal go from nearly men to true champions depends not just on their football, but on their mentality, luck, and ability to handle pressure when it matters most. They started the season very well. Now it's all about maintaining it.